digital tool time, Redford spinning, and a long way from MKTO. Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by Interest Media, replacing social media, and brought to you by Notice, helping music technology and finance companies navigate the music industry, and partnered with Digital Music News. It's June 10th, 2026. I'm Lars Murray. It's Viral Wednesday, but before we go viral, yesterday's first day of Indie Week sorta has my head spinning, or reeling, depending on which platform I'm on. I've been running around making and remaking connections, trying to keep up with follow-ups, pointing phones in people's faces, asking them, who are you and why are you here? We'll get to those tomorrow. And cranking out this podcast in the morning. It's actually easier to manage a conference and a podcast when you're on the road. Who knew? Meanwhile, one of the biggest deals at Indie Week involves a whole host of old friends, as Evan Bogart's Seeker Music, which has been buying and developing catalog assets at a feverish pace, announced a distribution deal with Virgin. Congrats to old friends Cindy James and Jacquelyn Saturn for landing a well-capitalized and innovative fish for the Virgin roster. Evan has come a long way from the only project I ever worked with him on, that would be MKTO. He did a great chat with Larry Miller from Musonomics a while back, and it's worth a listen if you're interested in Seeker's MO. Congrats to all parties. Ariel King has the full story over at Digital Music News, and I've also linked to that Musonomics episode with Larry and Evan. There's not nearly enough time to go through all of the winners of the Liberas Awards the other night. Those, of course, are A2IM's Indie Awards, but a shout out to Unlimited Supply supporter Qobuz and its U.S. head Dan Mackta for taking home the Independent Champion Award this year. All right, let's get viral. Heads up, digital worker bees and bosses. It's digital tool time. Big week for creator tools this week. A whole bunch of them rolled out, especially in the Meta ecosystem, which we're not going to call the metaverse. If you can't own your data, at least you want to know your fans. And heads up for all you worker bees and bosses, Instagram just rolled out a bunch of features on its paid tier. That's $3.99 a month, a pretty low bar to entry. Anyway, over at Billboard, Ariel King lays out some of the ways that these new features can specifically help artists promote tour dates, including extending stories' lifespan to 48 instead of 24 hours, creation of geo-targeted groups, and more granular engagement data on who's watching and rewatching stories. You'll never own your Instagram data, but as long as they keep it useful and targeted, it's going to be an essential tool. The other big addition to the Meta creation ecosystem is an AI chatbot assistant aimed at helping you decide when, what, and how much to post. It's called Creator Assistant, and it's available through a chat. The catch is that it's available through the chat function on Facebook. So all you youngs who ignore Facebook in favor of Instagram, you might just have to fire up that Facebook account for a few minutes if you want the sage advice of an AI elder. Andrew Hutchinson had the rundown over at Social Media Today. Meta announced another stupidly basic tool for worker bees and artists. It's been forever, but Instagram finally introduced a teleprompter tool. Yep. Now you won't have to use a separate app if you want to load up a script for your Insta posts. Of course, if you cross-post Instagram vids to TikTok, it's probably still going to be more efficient to use a third-party app for this, but finally. For its part, TikTok announced a creator tool of a different sort. That would be the Microdrama Development Program, which it launched in conjunction with the, wait for it, Sundance Institute. Somewhere Robert Redford is spinning in his grave. Of course, if this was Meta, he'd be reeling in his grave, but I digress. First, Sundance moves out of Utah, and now they are championing microdramas. I'm not sure if this is the final sign that social media is just TV on a different screen, or the final sign that Sundance has finally mutated beyond all recognition. Maybe both. But quite seriously, every new medium creates new opportunities for expression, and anything that can help elevate short-form content above the level of pure brain rot should be encouraged. It'll be interesting to see what, if anything, comes out of this development. As for what's actually viral this week, over on TikTok, Charli XCX is riding a significant edit trend. That would be glitch editing. Glitch editing is what happens when a certain movement is highlighted and repeated. It's a little hard to explain, just have to see it, but it's Charli's song Rock Music that is the primary track associated with that whole trend. You can't buy this kind of thing. Coming up on Puerto Rico Day, there's a surge of videos using the Puerto Rico song by sax boy Billy, soundtracking various celebrations of Puerto Rico and summer in general. Over on Instagram Reels, on a more conventional tip, Ariana Grande drops a new single. It goes viral right about the same time that she shows up in a completely ubiquitous movie trailer. That's what happens. Hate That I Made You Love Me is totally having the moment the folks over at the label wanted it to have. The Michael Jackson movie has introduced the Beat It dance to a new generation of Instagrammers, and in many cases, it's brought the youngs and the olds together in segments recreating the iconic dance from the iconic 1983 music video. Some things are forever, like the World Cup, which starts tomorrow. There's a whole bunch of World Cup specific music out there and has been for a couple of months. Everything from Belle and Sebastian's Scotland song to Jelly Roll's not so well received World Cup tune, but the one that seems to be resonating right now is Game Time by Future and Tyla. Tyla has been a frequent Viral Wednesday mentionee since back in November, so it makes sense that teaming up with Future would result in the biggest World Cup song with the USA co-hosting. Our viral correspondent Lydia Valentino is here this week. What do you got, Lydia?
Chicago rapper MAF Teeski reaches number 8 on US Shazam with his single Gucci. The top result on TikTok for the song surprised me. Teeski performing the track on Lyrical Lemonade's second channel, Lyrical Lemonade TV, over the instrumental to Soulja Boy's Pretty Boy Swag. A more recent performance on that channel is one of my favorite up-and-coming rappers, Slayer, that's with no E, doing his song Rax over Taylor Swift's I Knew You Were Trouble. When mashups get posted by high-profile sources, this is a way to help break new artists. And hey, maybe that's advice for me.
Thank you, Lydia. You can check out Lydia's V30 playlist on YouTube. There's a link in the show notes, and that's another Viral Wednesday. Support for Unlimited Supply is provided by you, our listeners. Sign up for a full year of support, and you'll get the full year's membership at a 20% discount. You'll also get a limited edition Unlimited Supply Merit Badge Trucker Hat. The Unlimited Supply Trucker Hat is the ultimate accessory for the music industry insider. It's available at our online store, and there's a link in the show notes. If you like what you hear, go buy a hat, or at least please hit the follow button wherever you get your pods. I live for your praise and encouragement in person, but it helps a lot more if you drop us a rating and or a review on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Spotify, and tell a friend or three. And now we're on Substack. You can follow us there too. Links are in the show notes, but you can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.